This exercise is median transparency and dark transparency. Median transparency is you're trying to find a median in hue and value in between the two parents. This is one parent, this is another. So I have yellow and green on my palette. I think I'll just use those. So the one will be, yellow and blue. One will be blue, one will be yellow, and then I'll have green here. But not just any green. It has to be in between these two parents in terms of hue, and it has to be in between in terms of value. So we want them to be diverse in value. That'll work best. And the hues should be separated from each other somewhat on the color wheel. Blue and yellow are they've got 3 steps between them, so that's a pretty good amount of separation. If I went any further, I'd start getting into complements, which could be okay too. Further from yellow, like moving from blue would be yellow-orange, which getting into orange is almost to the opposite, but not quite. But that would be okay too, but I already have green and blue and yellow on my palette. I'm going to use those and just try to get the median to be an in-between value between the two. And then I have to do a different median transparency down here. Same idea, but different colors. Another transparency we'll do afterwards is dark transparency, where it gets darker. So that's the effect of transparency that happens when you put 2 gels, the colored plastic that's used for coloring lights, like 2 acid transparent colored sheets. It gets darker when you do that. So we're going to try to get that effect using paint, so get the illusion of that effect. So two different kinds of transparencies, making it look like a transparency. So I'll start with median transparency with the blue and the yellow. So I'm going to try to get a little piece of yellow off to the side here. And a little piece of blue. I need a clean brush. I'll do my blue. First, you're not painting directly on this, you're painting on swatches on paper. We're using printer paper. So yeah, we're gonna paint it, a swatch that's bigger than 1 inch square, and then cut it out, dry it, and then press it, and then cut it to 1 inch square. We need two square inches. So I'm going to get my blue swatch going. Decided to go to the source up here because I didn't really have enough. All right, here's my blue. Just enough to have 2 square inches of it. Then I gotta clean that off. Clean out the brush. And I'm gonna do my yellow. Dipped a corner of my brush into the water to help this move a little smoother. Here's my yellow. All right. So if I just mix these, I'm just going to mix them as is right here. Not all of the yellow, because there's more yellow than there is blue, but try to do equal amounts. And I'm trying to get a median value. So you'll be testing it on your paper, and so I don't want to go lighter with white because I want to go closer to this value. I might want to go darker a little bit because these are very different in value, which is what we want. So I might want to add a little bit more blue to my mixture. The same blue. This is the cold blue. So I'm careful only to add a little bit at a time. That feels a little bit better. And I got the swatch, so the good thing about doing this on separate paper is that you can be really close, but then you can push yourself to try even one more experiment, see where that takes you, and you won't lose the previous one. So I'm adding a little bit more blue. Try to get the median value. Maybe this is a good one, yeah. Slightly darker. Is it slightly more blue? I thought it was slightly darker. There we go. That might be too dark. Maybe I'll see if I can go a little bit lighter with more of the yellow here. At any rate, I have 5 different greens to choose from to get closer to what I want. And trying to decide which is a good median value between this and this. I don't think it's that one. And this feels a little dark. Might be this one here. And that first one I did was too light. So maybe it's this one. In between. Yeah, I think it's this one. Okay. So that's good. I got the first median transparency done. I'm going to do one more, different colors. Yeah, I'm going to get my different colors set up and I'll be back. Okay, this median transparency, the next one I'm doing cold red and cold yellow. Was my decision. You could choose different colors. Okay. I did blue and yellow, and now I'm doing red and yellow. I'll paint them separately and then together. So here's my red, enough for 2 square-inch swatches. Yeah. Then with a clean brush, have to paint the yellow. Make sure it's clean before putting it in the yellow. Okay. There's my yellow. Okay. So very bright yellow. Now I have to find a in-between hue and value. So I want the hue and value in between those two. If I just mix equal amounts, and I'm aware that I already have yellow on my brush, so I'm going to go to the red first. It feels like it might be in between hue and value, but I'll try. If anything, maybe I need to go. No, that's actually, it might be in between. This, I might have done it pretty easily on the first try. It feels like it's, yeah, because if I went darker, that'd be too far away from that brightness. If I went lighter, it'd probably be too far away from that. Maybe I'll try one step lighter because I can. I got the colors here. So I'm just going more yellow. It could be more white, perhaps. I mean, I didn't add white, but it could be adding white. That's not out of the question, but let me see. That's not quite there. Bring some red back in. Okay, so now I have 3 choices for my in-between. I think it would be between, I think not this one. I think it'd be in between this one and this one. Maybe it's this one. Maybe I can go just slightly dark. Maybe I can find something in between those two, although they're pretty close, but I'm gonna add a little bit more red. That looks the same. This looks too red now. like this one, I think. Yeah, I think it'll be this one. So I'll let that dry. I'll let that dry and then press it. And so that's my medium transparency. Now dark transparency. So we want the two parent colors similar in value, not disparate, similar in value. And then it gets darker. So let me try the red and yellow again. But I'm going to try to make them similar in value. So that means I obviously have to lighten the red. And maybe I'll darken my yellow with like the warmer yellow or yellow ochre. Okay. So I need white on my palette to lighten the red. Dark transparency number 1, red and yellow. I'm trying to lighten my red. Trying to get a similar value to the yellow. So I added a little bit of my warm yellow, which is darker than the cold yellow. See how that compares. In terms of value. I'm just looking on my palette. If I was going to take my value scale, see if they're similar. Got like around 50%. And this is a different value scale than the one that we have with, so it's that, it says it, yeah, this says value 5, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's more, that would be more like 60. 60% on our scale. I think they're different. I think I need to go lighter. That's too dark. Yeah, I think this one's around here. So I gotta go a little bit lighter with the red, I think. Let's see here. I'm using 2 brushes so that I can get my red just right and my yellow just right. So I have 2 different brushes. So I'm lighter with the red. So now that might have been too light. Okay, bringing back some red. Oh, and I just touched the white. And put more red on my palette. Okay, somewhere around these 2, and the yellow was around there too. It's more around this one. So just a very light touch lighter, and that'll be it, I think. All right, so I'm ready to paint my swatches. And I still have to figure out the medium, but I want to paint these first. Okay, there's my red. And now my yellow. Look at it in terms of value on the paper. Yeah, around there. This one's sort of on the edge, right, with these 2. So I think it's pretty close in value. Okay, my median. I'm gonna just go ahead and just mix them together and see what I got. Or maybe I need to not have the white. If I did mix them, I'm gonna go over. I've got the red on my brush. I'm gonna go over here to this yellow, which is the same. And see, it doesn't get darker. I got the white mixed in there. It's not really darker. So maybe I just need to put straight red in with that yellow. So I'm taking my yellow brush and just adding some straight red. A little bit. Trying to get the effect of the dark transparency of layering over transparent colored sheets. That's better, right? Make sure I have enough for 2 square inches. I think that should be enough. All right, yeah, I think that'll work. It's going darker. That's the dark transparency. So I got 2 of those. I believe, was that 2 or do I need to do another one? I'm losing track. I think I need to do another one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have to do another dark transparency. But I got it all on one sheet. This is my dark, I'm gonna label it for myself. Dark transparency 1. Because that needs to dry and get pressed under a heavy book too. Okay, and then deciding on colors for my next one. So separated on the color wheel, but similar in value. I did yellow and red, maybe, and I've been doing a lot of yellow. Maybe I'll do red, violet, blue, green. Next. Okay, I'm pausing the video. All right, for my second medium or dark transparency, I'm going to use a red, violet, and a blue, green. Mix those. And light. Now for the second dark transparency, I'm going to try red, violet, and blue, green. Got a clean brush. I'll take a little bit of this blue and mix it with my red. Okay, there we go. Get just a tiny corner of the brush in the water just to make it flow a little bit better. And I will paint my red violet swatch. Guess I need a little bit more water. There. Okay, very nice red violet swatch. And I want blue green, so I need to use, I'm gonna use a different, I'm gonna keep my red violet brush and get another clean brush, do blue green. Going to move some yellow over here and some blue. Need more blue, right? Because now it's just yellow green. So. Okay, blue green. All right, now I need to do a dark transparency. It has to go darker in value compared to those. All right, so if I just mix them the way they are, see what happens. So I'm just gonna go here to this corner because I have the blue green on this brush. See what I get. It doesn't look darker, I don't think. Not really, compared to the red. Okay, I'm around this one, this value here, or maybe this one. So maybe it's around there, and the red is around there too. Yeah, they're around here, which would be like 90% on our scale. So this needs to be darker because they're around the same. Or I need to make this one lighter. Which maybe that's a better way to go. That might be a better way to go. Make the red lighter. This green is around this value, so a little bit lighter. So the medium transparencies, the dark transparencies, we want them to be similar in value, the two parent colors, similar in value. So yeah, so I'll make the red a little bit lighter. just a little bit. Needs to be a little bit more lighter, a little bit lighter. See how this one compares to the green. I feel like the green is darker now. The green is still around here, and this one now is down here. Okay, so I need to go darker now with the, I went too light. So I'm gonna add more red and more blue. Touch more red. Tiny bit of blue. Now it's around here. Yeah, now they're even. Now they're pretty even. So this one and this one. Red, violet, blue, green. And I have my in-between, which should be darker. I'll double check that. It does feel a little bit darker. Yeah, I think it's over here. So yeah, I think I did go darker. So I think I got it. Yeah, I think this value is more like this one. So yeah, it goes darker. So I got it. This is my blue-green, this is my red-violet, and then this is my darker blue-green and red-violet. So I have to let these dry and then press them down and then cut out 1-inch squares, one 1-inch square for this, and 2 for this one, and 2 for this one. All right, I don't think it's necessary to glue my squares right onto the worksheet. I can do this cross formation without it, but what I do need to do is cut my squares. They are 1-inch squares. So these are my 2 parents for this sheet, and then my favorite one for median transparency. We have different values for the parents, and we want an in-between value for the child. And I think this one was my favorite out of all of them. Okay, so cutting 1-inch squares. I already have a template for that. So for 1-inch squares, so I think I'm going to use my template. But if I'll show you how to use it. How to you probably don't need to be shown, but 1-inch square, you can do a line and do a mark at one end of an inch and the other end of an inch, and then find a right angle. Find a right angle, or align with the previous horizontal line you did, and then you're going to measure an inch again. Make a mark, and then do the other line. You want 2 of these actually, so 2 for your parents. Maybe it's better to do it this way than use the template, because then I have to line up the template thing. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. I'll do it this way. You already started anyway. Okay, yeah, so what I'm doing is I am lining everything up so that I can have 2 squares of my parent colors. You only need 1 square for the child color. Okay, then we will cut. I really do like cutting with this one better, but I have both at hand, so I'm going back and forth. I'll just set it on the paper for now to keep things in order. .90-degree angle, measuring an inch. Okay, next, median transparency. All right, so for median transparency, once again, the parents are different values and the child should be something in between. So something that feels like it's in between this very light value and this dark value. This was about maybe that 90%. And this is about maybe 30%. So between 90 and 30, be about 60. So I want 60%. Right around there. So I think, yeah, this one here. Sorry, so 2 of my parent. Okay, now I can glue those into the book before I lose them. So start with the child. And then do the parents. That's the median transparency page. I didn't really check my distance between my two rows, but it's about 2.5 inches. So I'll just do it. I just want to do it this similar on the next page. I can see it here too. Okay, dark transparency. Okay, this is my first dark transparency. These are my parents, and then the child is a little bit darker than the parents. Double checking that. This is a darker one. They should be about the same value, the parents, for this one. And my parents are right around here. That one's a little bit darker, maybe. This one's a little bit darker. So this one should be darker than that one, hopefully. It is a little bit darker, I think, yeah. Okay, so that one works. inches out of the parents and just 1 square out of the child. ready to glue into the book. Child first. Okay, that's my dark transparency page. And that is all for the transparency studies. Okie doke.